All right. So, welcome to the training, everybody. Now, I did put out a poll in the Deal Sniper community of what you guys wanted to be taught on, and what one was hybrid and subject to. So, now, however, I was mentioning this to everybody before I started recording that there were about 19 people on that poll, and there's 5 or 6 of us in here. So that was the plan. But like I do with all small classes, I'm going to cater it to who's here. So who here needs help understanding subject to hybrid or underwriting one of those types of deals? Who needs help? Okay. So what about creative financing as a whole? Who needs help with creative financing? Oh, this is going to be the shortest class I've ever done. Score. Maybe I can eat dinner early today. Okay. Then I'll just turn it into open forum. Who needs help with anything? What's up, Amber? Is that what you were waiting for? Help with anything? What's up?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have one of the deals that I asked you about. We reviewed numbers and everything. She was okay with it, and then she's like, she thinks that she'd rather do cash down and then installments, which I obviously haven't touched before.
Wait,
I'm
she
just
would rather do what? Say that again.
like money down and then installments instead of like
That
technically
is
that's
what
what
we're
we're
doing.
doing. I
Yeah.
know. I knew you were going to say that, but okay. Long story short, she wants the bulk of her money up front,
Oh, okay.
and
Okay.
then yeah.
So
So this
how
is
much does she want up front?
she said 170.
And what was the purchase price?
Oh Lord, I should have had that pulled up. Hold on.
You could ballpark it for me. 300, 400?
It was in the threes.
Oh, so she wants 50% down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
So I was wondering how the cash. That's why I asked you about the cash. Whatever.
Oh, for cash deals?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, I can show you guys how to do it. I just don't recommend it.
Oh.
However, I would need to know. I mean, unless you want to work off of a ballpark, I would need to know just about how much you had offered her originally, or how much she's got the house listed for. We can start from one of those.
Okay, I got you. Just a second. If you need someone else to go for now, that's fine.
I don't think anybody else has any other questions.
Okay, man.
Does anybody else have any other questions?
I got a question.
What's up?
So I need help like giving this girl proof of funds and like proof that I'm in a company or something.
Oh, we don't do fake proof of funds. And as a matter of fact, if I were you, I wouldn't do that at all. That's really, really illegal. And they're like going after people starting January of this year.
Oh, bro.
Yeah.
Somebody else's proof of funds.
I would never do that just because it's dishonest, but I definitely wouldn't do it now, because now they're actually going after people, because that's fraud. That's 100% fraud. You're literally presenting a bank document that is not real or not yours. So yeah, that's fraud. So what I would do, I actually take the idea of a proof of funds, and that's how I let the real estate agent know that I'm a wholesaler. So have you been to the cheat sheet or watched any of the other videos at all? Willis?
No, I haven't.
Okay. So are you on your computer right now?
I'm actually at work.
Oh, you're at work. Okay. What's your handle on Discord?
It's Luhezi.
It's what is it?
Luhezi. Luhezi.
Okay.
I've been checking recently.
Okay, so do me a favor. Once you're out of work or you have a chance, tag me in the main chat and just say, hey, Sean, it's me, so I can give you the response for real estate agents word for word. But essentially, what you're going to say to a real estate agent once a proof of fund gets brought up is, like I said, that's how I introduce them to the fact that I'm a wholesaler. So once I know that they like the deal, they're okay with seller finance, they're good with their clients, understand everything like that, and then they say, okay, what about proof of funds? That's when I say something along the lines of, I'm not a problem. I had no problem supplying proof of funds for you, Mr. and Mrs. Realtor. Let me explain to you a little bit about what I do. And that's when I go into telling them that I represent X number of buyers. I usually keep it a single digit number, somewhere between 7 and 9. I have, 8 buyers in Birmingham local that deal with me directly. They actually hire me to go out and get these properties. So if I can get this deal under these terms or something similar, I know for a fact 5 of them will want to take it down. So as soon as I can identify which one of them wants to take it down, I have no problem giving you their proof of funds and submitting EMD within 48 hours. You're just going to say that. You're going to say that in a way that how you actually talk. So it's all in the cheat sheet. What if they ask for this? Here's your answer. What if they say, why is it at 0% interest? Your answer is there. So I would definitely watch the navigation video on YouTube if you haven't yet for our Discord, and then go through all those places and look for those resources because they're all there.
Okay, can I DM you her exact message?
Can you do what?
Can I DM you her exact message on Discord? Like what she said? Like,
did she ask for something? Did she ask for something other? I mean, yeah, you can, but did she ask for something other than a POF?
She also said company, proof that of my company, because I can just send you it. It's like it's a lot.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Do you have a company?
I don't, but William told me to say.
All right. You're cutting out a little bit, but let's regardless of what anyone said, let's just stick to being honest. Do you have a company? No. So you just tell them exactly with what I said with the POF explanation. There is no company, Mr. and Mrs. Realtor. I work directly with these investors that send me out to find deals that cash flow. That's why I'm here. So that there's no company.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, just tell them the truth. Because here's the thing, they're going to find out that you're a wholesaler one way or another. So what are they going to find out? They're either going to find out that you said and did everything that you said you were going to, or that you're a liar.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that answers it.
Okay, cool.
I'll put that right now.
All right, yeah, and then I'll link you to the cheat sheet channel if you can't find it. Larry, what can I do for you? Larry, you're muted if you're talking, bro.
That was, of course. All right, Sean. I'm going through, so I'm looking for the clause about the waiver foreclosure, and unless I'm looking at the wrong document, I can't seem to find it.
Okay, so you're looking for what now? The clause.
Like, you remember how we said we're going to waive the foreclosure procedure this way?
Oh, you're talking about the deed in lieu?
Yeah.
Okay, so where are you looking for it? Are you
Well,
looking for it
you said look under the assignment contract.
Yeah, it's on the assignment contract, the buyer's version of the deed in lieu of what it looks like on their end.
What,
now, I'm not a lawyer, so we had them kind of put that in there. So I don't know all the jargon and what it means, but I did tell them, hey, I need the opposite end of this put into our agreement, and they said, okay, it's in there.
Right, like I said, I have it up because this one client really wants this waived, and I'm looking at this thing, and I don't see anything about foreclosure waiver or anything like that in this.
The buyer protection clause counterbalance?
That's not what I'm looking at.
If the seller,
where is this one at?
It's on the third page. I just pulled it directly off of Discord. It says, if seller fails to deed the property to the buyer, interferes with the dealer's ability, otherwise breach of terms. Additionally, the seller fails to cure the default within 5 days, written notice. So which part did they want put in there?
Well, I didn't see that part, but I'll send it to them if there's ability to make payment on the terms of the additional seller.
You know what's funny? Now that I look at this, it looks like it's written backwards.
Yeah, I think they're looking for. I mean, I think it'd be easier because no one else is a lawyer that's selling these. It'd be easier to say,
well,
listen,
if we have a lawyer, we told him, hey, put the opposite of this clause in our assignment contract. But I think he got buyer and seller backwards. The clause is fine. He just has the responsibility as the buyer and the seller backwards. So I got to tell him to fix that.
All right. And but so if I'm reading this, I mean, or if anyone's reading this, it says just say if buyer fails to deed the property to the seller or whatever. Yeah, but see, that doesn't really say anything about waive the foreclosure proceeding. That's what I'm saying. Is that what that means? Because it doesn't say anything about a foreclosure to me.
That's what it's supposed to mean. Again, I'm not a lawyer,
Right.
But what
I
I
think if you
can
put it more
do,
in layman's terms, I think it'd be easier for other people to read. Because I'm reading this like, what's this mean? I don't know.
yeah, no, that's a good point. That's the problem with not a problem with lawyers, but the problem with lawyers' language.
Right.
Not everybody can understand the damn thing.
Yeah, if he
But you
says,
have to put it that way so you cover every. No, I get. Okay, so you know what we'll do? Hold on. Let me look at this again. Again, I'm not a lawyer and I'm doing this on the spot. I know for a fact he needs to switch buyer and seller, just the words. The roles are fine, but he needs to switch the words. And then I don't know. I have to ask him. I can't even do it. I have to ask him a layman's way to say it to where it's more understandable. I mean, at the same time, if he just adds the word foreclosure in there, I think that'll fix it.
I think so too. If it waived the right to foreclosure proceeding and you receive the property after
Yeah,
whatever.
I mean, then that'll be done. All right, I'm going to see if I can get him to switch it. If he can't switch it, I'll at least find out why, so then we can kind of explain it better.
All right. That's all I had for you, Sean. Thank you.
No problem. Let's see. Amber, did you find the purchase price?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
413.
So that's what you sent them or that's what they have it listed for?
Oh, that's what I sent them. So what it's listed for is 375.
All right. So for anyone who's curious, when a realtor says, no, we don't want creative, but we'll take a cash offer, we'll take a discounted cash offer, just no, we don't want creative, we want traditional only. Here's what you need to do. You need to take the listed price, you need to put it there. Then you need to take the estimated rehab, you need to put it there. And then you need to put your assignment fee, and then you put it there. So you said the listed price was for how much? 317?
375.
Oh, 375. Okay, I was going to say 317 is low. All right. And then what does it need as far as rehab? What condition is it in?
It's in great condition. I don't see, there was no,
No, I know that. But when you're talking cash, you're talking about selling it to a different kind of investor. So it damn near needs to be perfect. Was it perfect or did it need some work?
It doesn't need any work.
It needs no work at all. Someone can go in there and just move right in.
I swear, bro. That's why I keep trying to get in there.
And how much you want to make on the deal?
Yeah, for me and you, 20 at least.
Well, don't worry about me. How much do you want to make on the deal?
Oh, I'll be okay with 12.
Okay. That's what you can offer. $213,000 cash.
Which is more than what she's asking. But how would I go about that? Okay, so I'll say this.
Wait, how is that more than what she's asking if it's listed for 375?
Because what she said to me was she was okay with the deal, but she needs something that works a little better. So she said, if I can do 170 down, then everything else would work fine, which is why I don't know how to approach it, because I know I can't take the non-conventional route.
No, that's not, because it's not 170 down and then that's it. It's going to be 170 down and then plus payments on all the equity. So it's not that she's asking for a less payment. She still wants $375,000. She just wants a $200,000 down payment.
Okay.
To pay off the mortgage.
I don't know what I did.
So this 213 would be it. That's all she would get. So if you want to do the math, once that $170,000 mortgage gets paid off, she's going to be left with $33,000. $38,000. I'm sorry.
Okay, so this is the thing. That's not her mortgage. The mortgage, oh my God, it's a sticky situation, man. Oh, crapola. So her mortgage is, I believe, hold on. Sorry, guys. Oh, because I know I sent you the numbers and everything, but it's just not. Okay. Scrolling. Okay, so the mortgage is 237,204.
Oh, so then you couldn't even offer her enough to cover the mortgage.
Right.
Yeah, the deal's if she's stuck on I want the mortgage paid off, the deal's not going to work.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just
So
want to.
lastly, I'm just going to read you what she said, and that's okay. She said, the thing is, I'm selling because I want to transfer my investment to another property. The
Oh,
amount
she's
down
doing a
and
1031 exchange.
the amount, like I said, she's a realtor too, so this is just her property. The amount, the amount down in monthly payment just doesn't make financial sense, in her opinion. If you can give me equity now and I can make that other investment, then I would be interested. I would need 170K now, though. No monthly payments, just take over the property. The current tenant wants to stay. Too sticky, right?
Well, no, that does change things a little bit because now she's asking for 170,000, but that still doesn't make sense because her mortgage. So she wants $170,000, and then she wants the investor to take over the mortgage.
Exactly, to still do the rest.
Okay, so she's asking for 170,000 plus 235,000. She's asking for a $405,000 purchase price in cash for a property that's listed for 375. It's not going to move. That's why it hasn't moved yet. That's why
Right. Okay. Okay. Now, at first she was, I mean, I had her reeled in, and then she started talking. This is the lady that I sent the PDF contract last week, and she just keeps asking for more, I feel, and it just does not make sense.
Well,
but I wanted to make sure I wasn't tripping.
No, you're not tripping, but do the takeaway.
Okay.
Say, hey, look, you know what? I completely understand your situation. Unfortunately, I can only do what I can do. My investors are only looking for these terms. If you change your mind down the line, my offer is good for 30 days. Otherwise, good luck to you. And then move on. Don't even think about it again.
Simple. Thank you.
No problem. I mean, follow up in a month if it's still listed.
Oh, I mean, I just didn't feel like telling you that I already did that part, but I'm on the same page with you. I got you.
All right, bet. Darren, what's up?
So I've been hearing about like conventional loans and 1031. Can you explain to me actually no, I want to first hear when it comes to conventional loans, right? Do they does the seller just get all the money? Is that okay.
Yeah. So here's how a conventional loan works. Let's say someone has a mortgage of $115,000. They're selling their house for $215,000. When the deal closes, escrow gets the money, and then they're going to divvy it out to everyone in the amount that needs to be divvied out. So if there's a wholesaler, the assignment fee will get paid. If there's a transaction coordinator, that person will get paid. If there's liens, those will get paid. If there's a mortgage, that will get paid, and then whatever's left gets sent to the seller. That's what they get to keep. That's a conventional loan. That's just a cash deal. If there's no mortgage, then they get the whole thing, minus closing costs, realtor commission, things like that. So they get the whole thing. Now, a 1031 exchange is different. You can have one without the other. A 1031 exchange, all that means is that the investor, the seller, right, who has the property that wants to sell it, let's say they have a property for $100,000 and they don't owe a mortgage on it. They want to sell it. When escrow gets the money at closing, escrow keeps their money. The seller never gets it until the seller finds another property that they want to buy that they can put that $100,000 into. And then once they find a property that they want to buy, they buy it, they go through everything, and then they pull that $100,000 from escrow and they say, okay, go ahead and give it to these people. I'm going to buy this property. And that's just to avoid capital gain taxes and things like that. It means they're going to use the proceeds to buy another property. That's all. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Because at first I thought like a conventional loan was like, it's the same damn thing because, the only thing difference is you're getting 20% down, but I understand it now. That makes sense.
When you do a conventional loan, when a real estate agent says you need to do a conventional loan or we're only accepting conventional loans, when they say that, all they mean by that is they want you to go to the bank, give them 20%, have them run your credit, pull all your information, and then say, okay, you're approved to buy this house. That's a traditional or conventional. What we're trying to do is get the seller to be the bank. So instead of us having our buyer or our investor go to the bank and say, okay, here's my credit, here's all my tax information, here's all my income information, and here's 20%, go ahead and give me a 7% interest rate, because that's not going to cash flow. We're going to the seller and we're saying, hey, look, we'll give you a down payment instead of the bank. We'll give you a monthly payment instead of the bank. We'll give you terms instead of the bank. You just have to keep these terms at a certain place so that our buyer can cash flow. Because if they can't cash flow, there's no incentive for them to buy your deal. Do you understand? Like that's, you obviously, now I would, because that's the version of me you guys are talking to today. But when you're talking to a realtor, you don't want to say it like that, but that's the mentality you want to have behind your voice. This is why we're trying to do this, Mr. and Mrs. Realtor, because our investor wants to cash flow. That's why they're interested in the property. If they can't cash flow, they're not interested. So instead of, and here's the answer to the 0% interest on the monthly payment. So instead of giving you an interest every single month and having that money be added to the monthly payment that we owe you, that's going to be deducting from our buyer's cash flow, we just added whatever the interest would have been over the term of the loan, and we just added it to the purchase price. That's why we're offering you more money than you're asking.
I've been saying that, like I've been pitching that way more, and like maybe like, oh, okay, yeah, I understand that. I wish I would have done that before, I locked up this deal, because I don't really understand. I feel like if I would have said, oh, we build our interest on top of the purchase price, I wish I would have said that. I probably would have got this house for 0% down, but hey, it happens.
That's all right. That's what you're not. You're not psychic. So you don't know until you come across these things. That's why I keep telling people experience is the best teacher. There's no way for you to know to ask that question when you first started. You have to be in that situation. The only way you're going to get in that situation is to actually do the work. So you should be proud of yourself, because now you got the answer done, the experience, and the work.
Yeah.
So good job.
Every time I pitch that, I don't get, they always understand. And also when it comes to like, because let's say like the realtor wants something so ridiculous, when I break down the numbers in front of them, like, you got to understand, we're offering over asking price just to incentivize my terms. And if you want this monthly payment, you got to understand that my buyers are not going to be able to cash flow. And like when I just break down the numbers and like really explain to them why, what they're thinking is flawed, they always understand it. I ain't gonna lie.
There you go. Because it's not selling at that point. We're not trying to convince anyone of anything. That's just basic math and common sense.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Realtor, if I told you buy this house and you can make $600 a month in cash flow, would you buy it? Well, yeah, of course I would. Good. If I told you could buy this house, you're going to lose $200 a month, would you buy it? Well, no. That's what you're asking my investor to do. That's why these numbers don't work.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that was good. I should put that on the cheat sheet.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, that was good.
See, he should let me out more often. Anyway, so hopefully that answers your question. Who's got another question? I'm gonna have to go back to the training, to this recording, and listen, because I don't even remember what I said. That's all right. That means it was good. Who else got a question?
Yeah, you got to timestamp that.
Right?
As far as the off market, can we go over that now, or do you want me to just wait for the video that you post tomorrow?
Do you have one already?
I have two.
Okay, so what do you have?
What do you mean?
Well, you said you have two. What do you mean you have two? You have two what?
2 units, condos, townhouses, that the owner is willing to sell. They want to sell. So I sent a contract for one that was listed, but it was listed. The other 2 are not.
Okay.
So I'm not really sure how to go about them.
So you don't know how to run an ARV or comp a property. I guess it should be the way I say that.
No, I do. I just don't know how to approach it. If that's all it is.
What do you mean?
Then,
You do, but you don't know how to approach it. It's the same
should I
thing.
do?
You got your formula.
Should I do deal calculator, or there's no way to do that?
Oh, for off-market cash, yeah, you can use the calculator. If you know how to comp a deal, which is one of the hardest things about doing off-market deals, you just use this side of the calculator. This side is for cash deals that are off-market. This side is for deals that are listed. So if you know the ARV and the rehab, you can do your offer in 2 seconds. Just punch it in the calculator.
Okay, so maybe I don't. Let me just focus on the rehab part. Where would I actually get, if the house needs work or new cabinets or whatever, how would I determine that? Go
to Discord. And if you look at the quick question spreadsheet.
Mm-hmm.
There is a tab. Well, now I know you're usually on top of all my content, so good for you.
Mm-hmm.
However, this was redone over the weekend, so you may not have the
Oh,
new
okay.
version.
Okay.
But download the newest version of that. There's a tab that says rehab. It breaks it down per state, per part of the house. You can do the easy formula at the top, which is by square footage, or you can break it down and do it piecemeal. Okay, this place needs a kitchen. Okay, here's that amount. Okay, this place needs flooring. Here's that amount. It's all there.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Thank you.
No problem. So anyway, once you have those two things, yeah, just punch it into the calculator and it'll literally tell you what your max allowable offer is. Then start like $10,000, $15,000 less than that. So if it tells you your MAO is 200,000, hey, I know you're looking for X, Y, and Z or whatever, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, but with the property, the comps, and how much work your property needs, I'm looking between 175 and 185. Can you make that work? That way, if they want to negotiate, you got $15,000 to play with.
Absolutely. Oh my God, that seems so simple. Okay, so from that point, I shouldn't connect it to the whole creative financing at all. Just leave it at that.
But you
That's
can
the price.
but you can absolutely offer creative on off market too. You just build it the same way. Take their purchase price and add, $10,000, $20,000 to it if you want. Take their asking price, how much they want, add 20 grand, and then just run a seller financing deal like normal.
Oh, smart man. Thank you.
The only thing that you'll have, oh, fuck that. Actually, sorry, Mom. The only thing you can actually put an off-market deal into Deal Sniper. It won't work the purchase price thing, but that's okay because you're just going to take however much they're asking and add 10, 15 grand. But it'll give you the rent, the HOA, the taxes, and the insurance. So you just run the deal like normal.
Okay, so my last question in reference to this. Since they have 3 units in the same exact building, one is obviously more updated. That's the one I got under contract today. Would I be able to kind of ask them what they want for the other 2 in reference to the one that we locked in today?
No. What I would do is, you tell them what you can give them for the other 2.
Okay.
You have them anchor to your number immediately. Not that way you don't have to break them away from the anchor they have on their number.
Okay. Makes sense.
Because you got to remember, if they're all in the same unit and they're all roughly the same size and they're all in the same building, they're all going to be worth pretty much the same price. So now you're just talking about, okay, how much is it going to take to make these properties, perfect and beautiful so I can rent them out? That's your rehab. And then you minus your assignment fee, and then there's your cash. Now, again, if you're going to do creative financing, just run it exactly the same. Unless the properties are super jacked up, then just give them what they're asking. Or maybe a little less as a purchase price instead of adding 10, 15,000 to it. That's all.
Gotcha. I'm good now. Thank you.
No problem. Yeah, that's why it's so awesome having so many different exit strategies in your back pocket, because there's no deal that you guys shouldn't be able to close. Kent, what's up, dude?
Who's on? Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's going on?
Not much, dude. I just wanted to see if I could put these numbers in right. You think you could put some figures in the seller finance and let me know if this thing is chatting on like I think it is.
Yeah, sure.
Address
What's the issue that the calculator is giving you? What part are you having an issue with?
It's not really an issue. I just want to know if I'm putting in the numbers correctly and it's like taking the numbers that I see on Deal Sniper and putting them in correctly on the Deal Sniper the calculator, the underwriter.
All right.
Deal.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's do it. What's the purchase price?
165.
165,000. Okay. What's the seller finance amount?
153,500.
Oh, that's nope. 500% interest.
What do you mean? No, I said
no. I was talking to me. I punched it in wrong.
153,500. Yeah, 500. So 153,500.
What's the down payment?
5,000.
I'm not as good at math as the other one, but I don't think it's 5,000. Because if it was 5,000, then your seller financed amount would only be 160,000. So if you've got a purchase price of $165,000 and you're giving them 153,500, so it's 11.
Hold on, I changed the numbers changed when I changed the something. So the seller finance amount is 160.
Oh, okay. So then, yeah, it is 5,000.
And then
What's the rent?
uh 1,391. Or should it just be rounded to like 1,400?
That's what I did. What are the taxes and the insurance?
Taxes 1,090, insurance 630.
Okay, and then what are we giving the seller as a monthly payment?
602. Sure, 600.
Okay, so what question is this? The same numbers that you got? You want me to make it a little bigger?
Yeah. Okay, so this seems like, I mean, does that seem like a reasonable offer with these
Oh
numbers?
yeah, your deal's fantastic. If you can get it locked up under these terms, you got a almost 30% cash on cash return, and your total entry fee is only 10.5%.
So what would be like the range? Like if I wanted to play around with this, is like 600 the max amount of a payment, a monthly payment I could offer?
So if you guys ever want to figure out how to determine what your max for your monthly payment is to the seller, once your deal is completely put in, I mean everything, taxes, insurance, purchase price, everything, and you have your default or your baseline cash on cash return, then what you do is you just incrementally go up on the payments. So if I go to 700, my cash on cash return is going to go from 28.9 to 22.4.
But
If
it
I go
doesn't
up
change
to-
that. It doesn't mess with the entry fee because that's all has to do with the down payment.
Yeah, that's two separate parts of the deal. One's down payment at closing, and the other's monthly payment after closing.
All right, so I can make this go all the way down to what, 20 or 10?
The entry fee percentage,
No, the cash on cash return all the way down to 10%.
your minimum is 10 to 12%.
Okay, cool.
So in this situation,
Like,
you're probably at about $900.
okay,
Nope, 900 is too much. You'd be at 875.
okay.
That would be about your max. Now, I want to make this very clear because I know people who are new, and I'm not saying you're new. It's just a scenario. Just reminded you.
I'm definitely
When you guys are doing these offers, I see a lot of screenshots of people making the numbers literally super awesome for the seller, which is great. I want you guys to give the seller what they need. However, if you're always submitting deals at the very minimum cash on cash return, you have to understand that your deal is not the most attractive that is being pushed out amongst all the other deals.
right. Definitely.
Same thing with your entry fee percentage. I know a lot of people will see this, especially if you know what you're doing, and know that the most you can go up to is 20 or 15%. So they'll push their assignment fee up. It's just making your deal more unattractive.
Yeah. But the things
So
are
just
mainly
keep that in mind. Huh?
things are mainly playing around with. It's just the payment, the down payment, and like the maybe the assignment fee to play around with those numbers.
Yeah, just remember that if you mess with the down payment, you have to also mess with the seller financed amount to make sure they match.
Right. Yeah.
What I mean by that is that this plus this should always equal that. That's all. But yeah, as long as you make sure it matches, but just understand that if you change anything related to the down payment,
No.
meaning the total entry fee, that includes your assignment fee, the down payment, or realtor commissions. it's going to make that number go up, and it's going to make this number go down.
Okay, so wait, we didn't put anything into like the realtor's commission, right? So
No, I didn't.
if it was like normally like 3% they would want, then that would like how much would that affect it by? Or like,
Well, if they did, you're talking about if a realtor charged max percent to you, right?
right,
that
but
would-
we wouldn't do that, right? Because
That'd be like
it's been,
$5,000.
been like so many days they shouldn't get max.
So if I take the $5,000 out, just so everyone remembers what our original numbers were, we were at 10.5% and 28.9, which again, fantastic. If I add that $5,000,
How do you know that's 3% or something?
and 3% is like $4,950. I just
Okay.
rounded it to 5. Our entry fee percentage goes up to 13.4, and our cash on cash return goes down to 22.8. That's still at $600. That's not giving them more money. So you guys
Right.
got to remember, when you're doing these deals, it's great to make sure that the deal fits for the seller, obviously, or you're not going to get it under contract. But that doesn't mean you just give everything away just to get the deal. You got to make sure you have a deal that looks good to the investor as well. Otherwise, just like I was saying earlier, they have no incentive to buy it.
Right.
So just kind of keep that in mind. There's a fine line that you have to walk between, everything that you guys are doing with the seller and then making it look good for the investor.
Would you normally give 3% to a property that was on the market for like over 100 days?
Probably not. What I would say to the real estate agent, I mean, it depends. I don't want anyone to not get paid. That's literally the opposite of everything that I say. But
Yeah.
no one is going to get paid if this deal doesn't close. So that's when I would talk to the real estate agent, and it would depend on dispo. Your terms here aren't terrible at all. So in this situation, I probably wouldn't say a word, because your cash on cash return is still high. Your entry fee percentage is still less than 15%, and you're giving the real estate agent their money. Yeah, the deal still works. Now, if the real estate agent was like, oh, I want, 5% times the deal, and they were looking for something like, I mean, what was the original purchase price? 165, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so what is that, like $8,000, give or take? So now my entry fee percentage, I'd be like, no, you're not getting $8,000. I can give you like 5. Actually, I'd drop it right back down to 5. And I would explain to them, just go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, would you even do that if like the Zestimate is coming out to like 148,000? Does that seem ridiculous?
No, because you got to remember who you're selling the deal to. You're selling the deal to a buy and hold investor. They don't really give a damn about the purchase price, as long as the cash flows.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it depends on the deal. And the short answer for your question, if I'm giving the real estate agent the full 3%, it depends on the deal. If the deal can afford to give them the full 3%, yeah, I don't care. Everyone should make their money. I want everyone to eat. But if it's like, hey, these numbers are tight, and I don't know if I could sell the deal like this, then the realtor's going to have to take whatever we can give them. But obviously we have to have that conversation with the realtor up front. And that would sound something like, hey, Mr. or Mrs. Realtor, I'm building your fee into the deal, and I'm going to do everything that I can, but I'm running my numbers. You may only walk away with like $5,000 on this thing. Are you going to be okay with that? Because I don't want to work on a deal that's not going to close because you're not making your full commission. I'm just trying to get the house sold. You tell me what you want me to do. And 9 times out of 10, if it's a decent realtor, they'll be like, no, let's just get, especially if it's been on market 100 days. They'll say, yeah, just get it sold. If I make $5,000, I make $5,000. It's a good way to know if you're working with a good realtor or not.
Great.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that's thanks.
Cool. Ursi, did I pronounce that right? No? Or are you muted? You're muted if you're talking.
You pronounce it right, yeah.
That's what's up. What can I do for you?
Yeah, so I just needed what's the best way to find the rehab and ARV on a cash offer, like off market property?
Go to Discord. and
Okay.
go into the, what's it called? Quick question spreadsheet. And if you go to the quick question spreadsheet, it's literally on one of the tabs. Hold on a second. Let me just see if I can pull this damn thing up for you guys. There it is. Okay. So just to give a quick rundown on this sheet, here's your realtor objections, what they could say. For realtors, here's what the objection is. Here's a one-liner for your response. I've got that for realtors. I've got that for how the deal is structured. I've got that for dispo when you're talking to investors. Here's the deed in lieu breakdown. Here's the POF script. Here's the 0% interest script. Here's markets and which ones you should pick and which ones you should stay away from. Here's the rehab information. There's the quick numbers. And then here it is by city. I'm sorry, by state, because every state is going to have a different cost for rehab. Seller objections. And then here's a list of all the videos of frequently asked questions and the links to them. So if you guys aren't using this sheet, you really should, because there's a lot of pretty decent information on here. Actually, there's a lot of really good information on there. You guys should use it. But anyway, that's where you would get that information from.
Okay. And is another question. So what do you have to have like batch leads or like prop stream to skip trace people's like numbers and stuff and emails? Or is there like
no, you can use there's a bunch of different skip tracing platforms and softwares that you can use. You don't have to use batch leads, but I do think batch leads is the cheapest from what I know. I think it's like 12 or 13 cents per person, but you shouldn't have to skip trace anybody because you're dealing with the realtor directly. So who are you skip
well,
tracing?
I mean, I was mainly talking about like off market.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're going to be going that route off market, then yeah, I would use batch leads, and here's why. One, I don't know prop stream. I know batch leads. So if you need help, I can help you. That's it. That's all I've got. And I think their price is cheaper for skip tracing. As far as how it works and which one works better, they're both the same.
Okay. All right, because I was paying for batch leads. It was like $100 a month, but I wasn't really understanding it well, so I just like stopped paying for it. But yeah.
Yeah, if you're going to skip trace that way, you're going to have to use batch leads. I mean, you can use a different one, but you might as well use a service that's going to give you information about the property itself.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's see. Kent, did you have another question? Because your hand went down.
Yeah. I forgot to. I guess there's it's showing for the total PITI and HOA 587. Does that kill it?
I don't know. Let's see.
You know, how do you break that out? Like on the calculator, is that going to be like all on the HOA, or is it some of that?
Well, yeah. I mean, hold on. Does it say that there's an HOA?
It just says
HOA should be on its own separate line. It should say HOA and then
Deal Sniper, calculations where it says total PITI plus HOA.
Not that part. I just the HOA line, like two or three lines above that. What does it say for HOA?
0.
Okay, so there's no HOA. So when it's giving you that, it's telling basically what that is that's telling you guys if someone were to go get a mortgage plus the HOA, that's about what they would be paying every single month is $587. But that's it's the PIT or it's the PI, the principal and interest plus HOA, but there's no HOA there. So if there were an HOA, that number would have been different. So you're good. Your deal's still fine.
Sweet. Thanks.
No problem. Darren, what's up? Oh, you're muted. There you go.
Damn.
Forgot your question? My bad, dude.
I think it was yeah. So it was about that hybrid. I was kind of confused. I actually I think it was like 2-3 days ago, and I was talking about like $200 a month. Like, why would somebody go with that? And then like you sent me a link. I understand that, but can you run the numbers again? So like I know I got the correct numbers. That makes sense, because our realtor is all over the place. Like she be doing too much. So.
Well, I don't understand. Are we rerunning the numbers because you don't
Yeah,
understand the numbers, or are we rerunning the numbers because the realtor made a change?
no, I understand the numbers, but I just want I know it's probably right what the numbers I got, but I don't know. I
It's
just want to see
probably
you
right.
do it. But I just want to see you do it.
I wonder why everybody's like that. We were talking about that the other day. All right, I'm here for it. What's the total purchase price? How much did you send them?
My bad. I have to pull it up. I was on the game.
You playing games when we're supposed to be working?
Um,
Save that for after. That's when I play Schedule 1.
I was on COD.
Oh, I'd annihilate you.
Okay, nah, not at all. But I think, damn, where is it at?
Probably with your KD score in the dump.
Know what? You know what? There's no point in doing it. You know what? Yeah, I got it. My number's probably right. There's no point of.
Are you sure?
Yeah, and I don't feel like digging and looking for it. Nah, it's whatever.
Okay. Yeah. Here's the thing. As long as you put the numbers in correctly, the numbers are right. You just got to trust that you're putting the numbers in the right spot. That's all it is.
For the monthly payment on like a hybrid deal, like I know it's the same as seller finance, but like, is there like because $200 a month is crazy in my opinion. Like
It is. Oh, it is. You're not wrong. You're not wrong in thinking like, damn, really? Like that's it? But you got to remember what you're asking the buyer to do. You're asking the investor to pay, let's say for this one was an example, to pay the $2,400 mortgage payment plus $300 to the seller, and then find some way to cash flow between there. There's not a lot of room when the mortgage payment is so close to what the place will rent for. And that's nobody's fault. It's not the seller's fault. It's not your fault. You can't control what the place will rent for. They can't control what their monthly payment is. If the deal doesn't work, it doesn't work. But if it does, I have seen a few people actually close like $165 payment once.
Okay.
So it all depends on the numbers, the deals, and the motivation on why they want the money. I still say go for it. I mean, what's the worst thing I'm gonna say? No.
I remember it now, like kind of. The numbers might be off, but it's like a rough estimate. So the loan
You're not
balance
trusting yourself, man. All right, what's the mortgage balance? Go ahead.
162, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I know
you
the PITI was like 1,100. Interest was 6,000. No wait, six
that's
and a half.
6.5. Okay.
Yeah, and the seller finance was like 234. It could rent out for I think it was like, yeah, it was 2,100.
Okay.
And we're paying eight. I think we're paying 8,000. Yeah,
What
I think
were we giving? What were we giving them as a down payment? Do you remember?
I think
'Cause I don't have the total
15.
purchase price, so
Maybe it might be 15, 12. I was trying to work that out, but like I think I ended up giving them 12. I don't know. 200, yeah, and yeah, that's about it. No HOAs. And that's like at the bare minimum. I think I ended up giving them 12 because I ain't like 11 or 13 cash on cash return. I think I ended up giving them 12.
I mean, the deal works if you can get them to take $200 a month, which you got to remember, they're not really getting $200 a month. It all depends on your perception. You could look at it like we're also giving you $200 a month, or you can look at it like, hey, we're giving you $1,300 a month. Because let's say we were giving them $1,300 a month, right? No subject to, we're just giving them $1,300 a month as a monthly payment. What are they paying out of that? The mortgage, which is $1,100. So what do they get to keep? $200 in profit. So we're just skipping that part. Instead of saying, hey, we're going to give you the money, and then you deposit the money in your account, and then you pay your mortgage, and then you get to keep whatever's left. No. To hell with all that. We're going to make the mortgage payment for you. So we're giving you $1,100 for that mortgage payment. And then we're also giving you what your profit would have been had we just given you the $1,300 a month, which is $200. So we're paying your mortgage directly, and we're paying you your profit. So we're actually giving you $1,100 a month. Does that make sense? Did you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand that, but like I found the email that I sent, and I just realized I kind of messed up on the
That
email.
happens. How'd you mess
I,
up?
I said we could offer you 30,000 cash up front, and damn,
30,000 cash up front. What was the total purchase price since you found the email?
I got an email, but I just didn't include. Dang, my numbers were way off. 28. It was 218 as a seller finance amount, but that don't really matter. All right, so the purchase price was 410.
Okay. So, and you're sure about the mortgage balance?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure about the mortgage balance and the PITI.
And you said you give them $30,000?
Yeah.
Okay, so then that would make that 218. That would make this 30. The total purchase price would be 410,000. And as a hybrid, you got your bottom of the barrel, 10.23 cash on cash return.
Man, why would I do that?
So
I think I meant to put 30,000 if we went subject to. Yeah, I think that's what I meant to put.
that's why a lot of people, they make a mistake when they use the deal sniper calculator. They find out that the property has a mortgage and they just assume it's a subject to. That doesn't mean it's a subject to. It could be a hybrid, but the deal sniper doesn't know how to underwrite a hybrid yet. We're adding that. We're actually adding this entire thing. For those of you who weren't on last week's training, we're adding this entire calculator to deal sniper, so you don't have to go back and forth. But for now, you can't, and that's probably what you did. You found out that there was a mortgage. You just put in the $162,000, but then you still gave them the 10% of the purchase price of what you thought it was. You thought you were doing good at 30,000 because the most you could have done is 40. Yeah, it's real confusing. So that looks like that's what happened. But this is your actual numbers. Your actual numbers are a $420,000 purchase price. Will cover a mortgage of $162,000. They're going to seller finance $218 with a maximum of $200 a month on top of the $1,100 that we're giving them.
Yeah, it's not gonna work at all. Just because I just realized again that the commission is 12,000, not 8. So
oh, there's commission on this too?
yeah, she wanted her
Oh.
commission paid. Yeah, it's not gonna work at all. Wait, you didn't change it? What the hell?
Oh, I don't have the carried over on mine. I was messing with it earlier. You guys do, I don't.
Well, it's not gonna. Yeah, it's not. And I'm not selling it to no Homestead buyer.
Yeah, I mean, you can try
me.
and put. That's literally what I was going to say. You can try and push it to a Homestead buyer, but you just need to find someone who has $60,000 cash that wants to live in this house.
Well, the monthly payment is only $1,000 for like a $400,000 house. That's kind of crazy.
I mean, yeah, you could because it's not $1,000. It'd be 13. Remember, whoever buys this place has to pay $1,100 to the mortgage plus $200 to the seller. So keep that in mind. But yeah, I mean, essentially, you're getting a $400,000 house for $1,300 a month.
I think I'm just gonna text her and be like, my bad. I'm meant to put 15,000, and the 30,000 was if we went subject to.
Okay.
Oh, that's when it went to my other question about the entry fee. Does it really matter? Because like, I was thinking, who would give up the house? Yeah, who would? Anyone? Okay. Oh, shit, I forgot what I was gonna say after Kent said that. Oh yeah, I was like, does entry fee really matter? Because the house is $400,000. If we're gonna give him 50 subject to, it said the entry fee was 25%, and I was like, what? That don't make no sense. So like that's why I was asking. Even though it's a subject to, not paying a monthly, does it matter?
Not if you're going to sell it to a Homestead buyer. If you're going to sell it to a Homestead buyer, then it doesn't really matter what the cash on cash return is. You just need to find someone that's willing to pay the monthly payment that you have negotiated. That's all.
How would you sell it to a homestead buyer? Because like, isn't it illegal to like market like you know what I'm saying? Like, isn't it illegal to like to market the deal? Like,
What state is this in?
uh, Arizona.
I don't think so. Is it illegal to market a deal in Arizona? Hold on.
Uh, I thought it because I'm pretty sure in Florida, like, no, not in Florida, but just like I thought in general, if you market like a deal and you're not a realtor, something like
Yeah.
that.
Arizona is completely fine. You can market the deal, no problem. You're talking about
I mean, like listed or something. 'Cause, like,
Oklahoma, Ohio, South Carolina, Texas, Georgia, Kentucky, California, Illinois, Alaska, Connecticut, and New York, and Washington. That's what you're talking about. And in these states, you can only market the contract, not the property.
yeah,
That's what you're thinking of, right?
yeah,
Yeah, but I mean, that's if you think about it. And again, I'm not a lawyer, but I've got a contract for sale on a property that's 3 bedroom, 2 bath. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
it's just a line item that you're putting before your marketing material or whoever
Would
you're
you?
talking to.
Because like, if somebody finna go buy a house, they don't look like. How would you market a homestead deal if you can't list it on market? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how would
That's
you?
that's what it is to be a wholesaler. You got to learn how to dispo the
You just,
deal.
you just
There's a
gotta.
video that I posted. I can put it in the main chat right now, showing you step by step how to market a homestead deal.
If you had to like say how hard it is, like 1 through 10, pause. How how hard is it to like dispo that?
A homestead deal is harder to dispo because your buyer pool is going to be a lot smaller because the deal is not for investors. So now you're looking for the 1 or 2 people who have the money to buy a property, but don't have the credit or the documentation to just go to a bank and buy it themselves.
Hmm.
That's all. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Real quick, Derek, can you see my screen now? Because I just saw your message in Discord saying you can't see my screen. Derek, you're muted if you're talking. All right, never mind. I'll just assume you can see my screen.
No,
Kirsty,
sir, I cannot.
you can't see my screen. Can anyone else not see my screen? You guys should be looking at the calculator inputs page right now. Yeah, you can see my screen? Okay. Derek, you should be able to see my screen.
Says permission needed. Maybe I did something wrong coming in.
Yeah, back out and come back in because that's weird. Because if you needed permission for anything, we shouldn't even be able to see you.
10-4.
Okay. Ursi, what's up?
Hey, so if a realtor or agent like tells me that their seller's not interested, I know on the script or the cheat sheet, there's one that says we don't accept creative finance offers, but she kind of worded it saying like, no thanks, my seller doesn't want, like, isn't interested. She kind of, so like, I think she presented it to the seller. Is there anything I could do with this deal, or is it a lost cause?
I mean, you can do a cash offer, but in my opinion, it's a lost cause because you're going to end up offering 50% of what it's listed for
Yeah,
as
I
a
figured.
cash offer. So, I mean, I wouldn't, but you can. I mean, it's free to do it. And you can
Yeah,
use this
but
calculator to give you the amount in like 2 seconds.
all right. I mean, it doesn't. The property itself doesn't even look like it needs much rehab at all, actually. So
But
I
what's
don't
it
know
listed
how
for?
it is. Let me see if I still have it pulled up. It's listed for $269,900.
Okay, so $270,000.
Yeah.
All right. And then what do you want to make on the deal?
5K.
Okay, you can offer them 157.
157.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I guess I'll go ahead and try it, but I'm not gonna expect anything out of it.
And here's the other thing too. When you guys say that it needs 0 rehab, unless it was just recently flipped, it's probably going to need some sort of work before an investor can put an tenant in there. Or if it's a cash deal and it's a fix and flip, which it probably won't be because it's already been on market, you're gonna have to use the price per square foot to calculate rehab, because if a fix and flipper is going to buy this property cash, they're absolutely going to want to get every dime out of it that they can. So they're going to make it look as nice as they need to make it look in order to sell it for the most that they can sell it for.
Could I give you the address and you like real quick to see if like what it could be done to it, like how much rehab would be?
I mean, you can
Yeah.
DM it to me if you want, but you can just tell me the square footage and we can just do some simple math.
Okay.
What's the square footage? I'll give you the best case scenario.
All right. Square footage 2,252.
2,252.
Yeah.
If it's a light rehab, which just means minor paint touch-ups, light landscaping, carpet flooring replacement, and fixture updates, times $15 a square foot, your rehab is $33,780 on the
Damn.
lowest end of this spectrum. So if I put that in here, if I put 30 grand in, now there's your offer, 127. This is why I say it's a little pointless.
Yeah, I'd be lowballing them heavy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So, I mean, again, it's free to do it, and you never know. But in my opinion, the email that you're going to send with the cash offer, you can send out 2 or 3 creative deals to new deals, new leads. In my opinion, that's just me though.
Yeah, I got you. All right. I appreciate it. Thank you.
No worries. Does anybody else have a question?
Could I give you what's it called numbers for a deal that I'm working right now? But that I still haven't underwritten it. I just sent out an offer and they're thinking about accepting.
What kind of deal is it? Creative or sorry,
Creative.
seller or
Yeah,
mortgage?
seller finance.
All right, cool. What's the mortgage amount? Or I'm sorry, the purchase price.
330.
Okay. What is the seller finance amount?
307.
Okay. What is this? 23?
Yep.
What's the rent?
2104.
2104?
Yep.
Okay. Realtor commission?
No realtor commission.
Taxes and insurance?
Taxes and insurance. Taxes is 5517.
Damn.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is Florida.
Oh, okay. Now that makes sense. What's the
insurance is 1254 and then HOA is 108.
$108? That's it?
That's it. It's $9 a month.
That's not bad. What are we giving the monthly?
1,000, I believe.
That seems high. That's way too high.
Gotcha.
I think your max is probably going to be 950, 925, maybe. No, 900. Holy shit, 875. Yeah, 875.
Gotcha.
Unless it makes a good short-term rental. Did you run the Airbnb numbers?
I don't have any Airbnb numbers. All I know is that it is the true definition of turnkey because it was built in 2022, and everything inside is like the photos are immaculate. Like everything's brand new.
Does anyone else on here not know how to run AirDNA numbers? Romney, I'm not saying you don't know how to run them. I'm just saying you haven't.
I don't.
Gotcha.
Okay, so everyone else on here knows how to run short-term rental comps?
No, I don't. I'm listening though.
Okay. All right. Let me show you guys how to do it real quick. Romney, I'm not going to use yours. Obviously, this is your deal, so I'm just going to grab a different one. But run the short-term numbers. Let's see. Let's match this real quick. 5517, 1254, 108. Okay, and then it would need 2 short-term rental for probably what? Oh shit, I didn't see what it was. Hold on a second. Okay, so 3 would work.
Okay, I'm on what's that called? I'm on Airbnb right now.
2,500. You want to follow along with the example I'm about to do?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so 2,800. Nope. So is it 29? Because that's pretty weird. Okay, it's 29. So as long as it rents for 29.50, you should be good. Anyway, let me grab an address really quick. I'll do Jacksonville, Florida. And let's get something near the water. Something that would make a good short-term rental. No. Okay. That's too much. We'll take this one. Okay, cool. So there's the address that I'm going to use. I'll put it through Deal Sniper after. Right now, let's just put it through AirDNA. AirDNA accounts are free, by the way, guys. So I highly recommend you sign up for one and then just follow along with everything else that I'm about to show you, and you can get short-term rental numbers, especially if you're in a short-term market. Oops. Like Florida. All right, so let's put the address. What was it? So 3233. Okay, so you put in the bathroom, put in the bathrooms, and then you take the bedroom count, and however many bedrooms there are, you double it for how many it accommodates, because you can sleep two to a bedroom. Then you hit calculate earning potential. Now it's going to give you a whole bunch of numbers, and you're like, oh, I don't know what any of this stuff is. It doesn't matter. You're only looking for that number right here, just this one. That's your yearly number. So this house will bring in $32,000 a year. So you take $32,000 and you divide that by 12 to get the monthly. So in this case, it would be $2,666. So then you take that 2,600, oops, and then you put it here, and that's where your STR numbers go. And then once you click on everything, whatever deal you happen to be working on, you make sure your numbers match for your taxes, your insurance, your HOA, and then you put in your numbers here for your input values. Those will automatically turn into yearly numbers and add them here. And then it's the same thing over here. So, Raheem, did that get you your number? Are you muted?
You talking to me?
Yeah. Were you able to follow along?
Yeah.
So what was your short-term rental number?
Oh, hold up. I think I did something wrong, but cash for that I think was like 12.
For your short-term rental?
Yeah.
That could work.
Okay, gotcha.
Kent, what's up?
Where are you getting those monthly expense numbers from?
Down here,
Yeah, where would you get those numbers from to input them?
right next to it, is your range.
Oh,
So 1 to 200 for repairs and maintenance. Lawn care is 600.
like standard.
Yeah. So it's giving you a range. And again, you're not going to have the same numbers as every short-term rental person. Their numbers are always going to be different. What they calculate is going to be different because their business setup is going to be different. All you can do is back up your numbers.
You think you could check out a property? I'll give you the address just for the hell of it. And like
I mean, it's going to go online. So
I don't care. No, I don't care. I don't think it's. I mean, it's not selling. We've been trying to sell this thing for a while. So.
Okay, so what am I doing? Am I underwriting it as a short-term rental or just underwriting it, period?
Just see what would be. I think the short-term rental would be the only option for this property with like the price that's on it or just the way it is. But,
All right,
if you want
what's
to
the purchase
check
price?
check out this address. It's
Oh, is this the one we were talking about earlier where you wanted me to see if it was a rehab?
no, this one
What's the address?
is. Hold on, I just had it up here. It's in Atlanta. It's got like ridiculous prices. It's like $12,000 a month. I'll let it go. I just had it here. Oh, here it is. There it is. There it is. The address is 560 Morgan Street in Atlanta, Georgia.
Is this it?
No. 560 Morgan Street, Atlanta. Oh, yeah, that is it, actually. Yep. Yeah, there's a different angle, I guess.
Okay, so it's a $1 million property. How many bedrooms and bathrooms is it?
6 beds, 5 bath, 4,300 square feet.
Okay. Okay. 150,000 a year divided by 12, which is $12,500 a month. And what are the rest of the numbers? How much do they want for it? What's the I need the purchase price, the start finance amount.
Right. So, they have purchase price. Well, my partner was trying to put a purchase price of 1 million. We're trying to do like a lease option type of thing with this for $1,695,000 down payment of 150,000, monthly payment of 12,000, and 30-year note.
Wait, they want a monthly payment of $12,000? That's not going to work.
I'm just seeing if yeah, I don't know what's going to
The
work.
down payment was? You said 150,000?
What's that?
You said the down payment was 150,000?
Yeah, that's what they want for a down payment. I'm just trying to. It might be able to be negotiated. I'm just trying to see what this looks like in this underwriter calculator with these
Did
numbers.
Did they want any interest?
I don't. No, I don't think so. I don't see any interest.
What are the taxes and the insurance?
I don't. We're not showing that. I'm not showing that, so I don't know. I guess we'd have to go get into that, right? But
Yeah, I can't really underwrite the
it's
deal
just,
without
yeah. I mean,
taxes.
oh, actually, I remember them saying like if the down payment is not like fixed, like that's just what they were trying to get, you know. So I mean, it can be negotiated. So that's just what's up on their what they're trying to sell it at. So
No, I mean, I completely get where they're coming from, but without all the information, I can't finish
Right.
underwriting the deal to tell you if it's good or not.
you gotta get the taxes and the insurance to finish it. That's what's left. Oh, okay. So, but whatever.
But I can tell you this.
Yeah.
If the taxes and the insurance were this, and I know that they're not, with the amount of money that they're asking for a monthly payment, it's never going to work. Like, I mean, you can take your time and do it, but no, I'm sorry. Their monthly payment was $12,000.
Right. Yeah, I knew it would, but I was actually thinking of, what if they took this and turned it into like a co-living type of property where a 6-bedroom, it's got a lot of square feet, so maybe you could add like 3 or 4 bedrooms on top of that, right?
Well, right, but what you're asking here, but you got to look at it again from the investor standpoint. Now, keep in mind the taxes and the insurance; those probably aren't accurate. They're probably more than that. You're be asking an investor or a buyer to lose $23,500 a year while they're trying to get the property renovated to, whatever it is you're thinking.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's why it's not selling. It's been sitting there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not there. It's not going to work. Not with asking $12,000 a month.
Right. Yeah. Cool.
All right. Who else has got a question? All right, cool. Then I will let you guys go if that is it. I will be, actually, no, that's not true. I will not be in the Discord the rest of the night tonight. I have to meet with my disposition team in about 30 minutes to go over everybody's deals and give updates. This video, if you need the recording, will be posted tomorrow. And that's all I've got. You guys have a great night. I'll talk to you later. I'll see you.